What if I told you that hope lives in a rent-stabilized apartment in Queens? That power can come from a clipboard, not a corporate check. That leadership doesn't have to look like privilege, but can look like you. This is the story of Zohran Mamdani, assembly member for New York's 36th district, covering Astoria in Queens. But more than that, he's a tenant organizer, a democratic socialist, an artist, an immigrant's son, and a living, breathing reminder that change comes from the ground up. Born in Kampala, Uganda in 1991, raised in New York City, Zohran carries in his story the pain and promise of the global South and the working class. His mother, Meera Nair, an acclaimed Indian filmmaker. His father, Mahmood Mamdani, a renowned political theorist from Uganda. He could have chosen the comfortable path. But Zohran didn't run toward status, he ran toward struggle. He became a housing counselor, a tenant organizer, and a voice for those crushed by rent, debt, and discrimination. When he ran for office in 2020, people said, "You don't stand a chance." He didn't just prove them wrong, he redefined what victory looks like. In a city where real estate tycoons make billions while families sleep on the subway, Zohran stood up and said, "We are not asking for miracles. We are demanding what should already be ours. Housing is a human right. Not an investment, not a luxury." He promised to pass good cause eviction legislation, which would protect tenants from being kicked out for no reason, a law that could shield millions from becoming homeless. He supports a New York homes guarantee, social housing, rent rollbacks, and billions invested into deeply affordable housing, not luxury condos. He says, "We need to build housing for people, not for profit," and he's not just talking, he's organizing, co-sponsoring, rallying, and pushing legislation that puts people before profit. For Zohran, healthcare is not just policy, it's personal. He's one of the loudest voices backing the New York Health Act, a bill that would guarantee universal, single-payer healthcare for every New Yorker, regardless of income, employment, or immigration status. He asks, "Why should our ability to survive depend on our boss's generosity?" Zohran knows the working class can't wait. The private system has failed. So he fights for free care, mental health access, reproductive rights, and fully funded hospitals in all boroughs. If you've ever waited on a broken-down train in winter, you'll understand why Zohran's passion for public transit hits home. He's championing the Public Power NY campaign, a bold plan to replace for-profit energy monopolies with publicly owned utilities that deliver clean energy, affordable, reliable, renewable. He fights for fare free buses, better infrastructure, and a Green New Deal for New York, one that creates union jobs, cleans the air, and saves the planet without sacrificing the poor. He says, "We can have a livable city and a livable planet, but only if we stop letting corporations dictate our survival." Zohran knows what it means to be the child of immigrants. That's why he's one of the fiercest defenders of immigrant rights in Albany. He supports abolishing ICE, ending immigrant detention, and expanding protections for undocumented workers, students, and families. He's also called for ending cash bail and the prison to deportation pipeline. Decarceration and investments in communities, not police. Language access, legal aid, and sanctuary protections for all. Zohran says, "No human being is illegal. Full stop." And when others backtracked under political pressure, he stood firm. Because his loyalty is not to lobbyists. It's to liberation. Zohran promised to be accountable. And he meant it. He posts updates on every vote. He meets with constituents face to face. He doesn't just ask for your support every 4 years, he builds with you every single day. Here are just a few promises he's made, and continues to fight for. Taxing the rich to fund housing, schools, and healthcare. Publicly owned broadband, so internet access is a right, not a privilege. Ending solitary confinement in state prisons. Fully funding CUNY and SUNY, tuition-free, debt-free, accessible. Climate resilience for working-class communities of color. To the tenant who hasn't slept in days fearing eviction, to the student working 2 jobs just to pay for books, to the undocumented parent hiding in fear, to the black and brown kids watching their future shrink in a system rigged against them, you are not alone. You have someone fighting for you, not in secret, not behind closed doors, but in the streets, in the subway, and yes, even in the state assembly. Zohran Mamdani is proof that our power is greater than their wealth. He's not perfect. But he's real. He listens. He walks with us. And he reminds us that a better world isn't a dream, it's a demand. This isn't just his story. This is our movement. This is what happens when the people fight back and win. Hope is not passive. It's organized.